Hello, hello, my friends. It has been a little while since we have seen a new release from Kringle Candle. In fact, I feel like the last one that I really covered in depth here was it the Winter Reserve collection that was maybe about a month ago, I want to say now, a little over a month ago. And yeah, we've got 6 more candles being released this Friday, December 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I have the candles in front of me so that way I can give you a little bit of a cold sniff preview. Other times I don't have them in front of me, but today, fortunately, it is the former. I do have all 6 candles. They were sent to me from Kringle Candle. They were very kind to send them ahead of time to me in PR for me to preview for all of you. And so I'm going to be sharing with you my cold sniff impressions of these candles. I have not burned any of them yet, to be honest with you. They actually just arrived on my doorstep last night. For those of you who may be a little bit newer to my channel, I live in Arizona. Kringle is located in Massachusetts. Things take a little while to get over here on the West Coast. So I won't have any time to burn these candles prior to the launch. Honestly, I see maybe one of these candles possibly selling out. However, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit curious about this launch because quite frankly, they are going to be competing with another big candle brand. We all know Bath and Body Works has their candle day going on starting on December 6th. So I don't know, maybe that is a strategic thing. Maybe people are wanting to spend their money with an American company. My personal opinion, maybe a little bit better quality candles. But regardless, not Saturday, Friday, December 6th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These 6 fragrances are going to be available. We have 3 new reserve line candles, and then the other 3 candles are being promoted as being called the Winter Flight. Now, we did receive some clarification. In fact, my friend Drew Yack here on YouTube, he and I were going back and forth on Instagram because we were wanting some clarification. We were like, wait, does Winter Flight mean you have to buy all 3 of these, or are they available individually? Because I think of like a flight of like beer when you go like beer samplings, like when you go to a brew house or something. But our contact did clarify that the Winter Flight candles are available for individual purchase. These candles are all their standard large 2-wick 100% soy vessels, and the reserve ones are in that standard reserve black packaging, and the large 2 wicks are in their standard, what we all come to know and expect from the Kringle packaging. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this sniff session. I will make sure that at the end of this video, I will let you know my favorites. We'll rank them 1 through 6, which ones I personally love on cold sniff. Now take that for what it is, because sometimes I love a fragrance on cold sniff, and then once I start burning it, my opinion can change for better or for worse. So I will rank them for you. Also be aware that if you do shop with Kringle, I do have a discount code with them. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase. Usually you can't apply that code to sale items, but a lot of these reserve fragrances and obviously new releases very rarely are on sale. So if you're wanting to get your hands on these right away for yourself, or maybe for a holiday or Christmas gift, then you have a little bit of a way to save some money. It is an affiliate code eligible for commission. Always have to disclose that. Okay, you guys, this has been a long enough introduction. Let's go ahead and talk about these candles. As always, all of them will be listed and linked in the description box down below for you. I will also include timestamps as well as all of the like fragrance notes and everything, so that way you can go back and research. That was a lot. All right, let's go ahead and start out with one of the fragrances from the Winter Flight collection. This is called Winter Frost, which honestly, I really love this label. I think that the labels that they chose on these are actually quite stunning for winter. Fragrance notes on Winter Frost, they are listed on the bottom of the candle, but I'm going to go ahead and read it here from my little handy dandy sheet that they sent me. Winter Frost has top notes of floral and herbal, mid notes of mint and green, and base notes of musk and green. So, okay, this candle to me, I like it. This is more like, this is like a winter to spring transitional scent for me. To be honest with you, these the picture here doesn't really quite go with what I'm smelling, to be honest. We all know that Kringle tends to be a little bit more conceptual with their fragrances, But this to me is almost, it's very fresh. It kind of falls into that category of kind of like laundry cleaner. What is going on there? I feel like I have a little bubble in the label there that's making like a a little bit of like a clicking noise. That's kind of bizarre. Okay. Yeah, this is for people. I think if you are somebody who tends to like fresh, almost laundry clean type of fragrances, but a little bit of floral in there, I think that you're going to like this fragrance. Fragrances like this make me a little bit hesitant because I do like this on cold sniff. I'm a little bit concerned that it might give me a headache. The floral note that I'm smelling in here, you guys, I'm not really good with a lot of floral. Like, I definitely know like rose or lilac or things like that. And maybe I'm detecting a hint of like a lilac note in here. But this, it reminds me almost of like a fancy laundry detergent in some ways. But I do detect, is there mint? Yeah, mint. A little bit of mintiness, but I will just say that this one, I feel like if, I have a feeling that this one might be headache inducing for me. Just because I know how you know, these types of fragrances have performed for me in the past. I will make sure I burn this. Just being honest with you guys, I probably will not get around to burning this candle until likely January. And that is because I have mentioned this before here on my channel, but December is really a month where I am all about Christmas nostalgia. There are certain fragrances, in fact, stay tuned for a video later, hopefully this weekend, where I'm going to be sharing with you my holy grail Christmas fragrances. And this is the time of year where I am extremely picky and selective about what fragrances I burn. So this one doesn't quite fit into my like Christmas vibe right now, but I will make sure that I do a dedicated post-burn review on this candle for you. I'll probably get around to it in the month of January. All right, the next candle that I have here in front of me is Arctic Highway. Fragrance notes on Arctic Highway are wood, fir, those are the top notes, mid notes of floral and sandalwood, base notes of amber and sweet. So, okay, here's the thing about this candle. This, I opened this and I smelled it yesterday when I got these in and I was like, this smells familiar. I feel like this is the same. I don't, you know what, I should compare, to be honest with you. I don't know if these are the same base notes. I think they might be. There's a lot of components in this that is very similar to the fall lineup. I believe it was Maple Woods. Kind of perfumey. You get a little bit of that amber, but there's a sweetness to this candle. I actually think that I like this one a little bit more because it's not as mapley. That one to me was almost like it was like maple and a perfume together. I did end up decluttering that candle. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't like my ultimate favorite. But this smells like it's the same base in that I definitely smell the amber and the sweet, but there is a woodiness. I'm very curious to see what this one smells like when it is burning, but this is definitely more in like the perfumey type of vein. I wouldn't necessarily say cologne because a lot of the time when we think cologne, we think of typically masculine fragrances that are very dense mahogany, especially for winter type of fragrances. They tend to be very dense. That's the word that I would use most. But this is definitely like a perfumey type of fragrance. I like it. But like I said, yeah, I think that it's the same base notes as that Maple Woods. I feel like this is a cousin to Maple Woods. Maybe this is the winter cousin to Maple Woods, which I guess would make kind of sense because remember Maple Woods, they also had like a picture going down a highway with all of the fall foliage. So yeah, I guess that would make sense. And then the last one in the Winter Flight collection is Tranquil Winter, which I really like the label on this. Beautiful. It looks like it's like a little village along a fjord. Fragrance notes on Tranquil Winter are top notes of fir and herbal, mid notes of apple and spice, and base notes of wood and musk. Oh, I like this. Okay. I definitely get the fir on top. The fir note is there. What's the herbaceous note in here? Slightly herbaceous. That's a top note. I do smell a mid note of apple in here. It's not like fall time apple, but it does lend a little bit of fruitiness to it and some spice. Base notes of wood and musk. Musk would make it slightly perfumey, but again, that's not as perfumey as Arctic Highway. I like this one. It's definitely unique. It feels like a, this is a good one. I think that this is going to be really nice after the holidays. It's still kind of fresh, not as fresh as like laundry cleaner as winter frost there. But I tend to like fir notes. I especially like how Kringle does fir. I think that they do that note very, very well. And I do smell that on the top note, but it is mixed. I do smell apple and spice in the mid notes. Again, not overly like fall apple. The apple note in here though does smell similar to the apple note that was in was it bourbon apple and oud? Smells similar to that same type of apple note. So if you like that fragrance and you like the way that Kringle does fir, I think that you would actually like this scent. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the 3 reserve candles that we have here. So the first one that they are offering here is Champagne Bliss. And a lot of people were very curious when they saw this. They were like, oh, is this similar to, is it Champagne Toast over at Bath & Body Works? Fun fact, you guys, I have actually never purchased that candle. I've never really like loved it. Like I like it, but I've never been like, oh, I have to have this in my collection. Fragrance notes on Champagne Bliss are top notes of citrus and effervescent, mid notes of cassis and floral, and base notes of white grape and fruit. So, okay, it's similar to Champagne Toast, but I do feel like it's slightly more elevated, which has always kind of been my take with a lot of Kringle scents. Like I feel like if fragrances, a lot of the time with Bath & Body Works, and again, if you've been with my channel for a long time, I know that I say this a lot, and I hate saying this because I do sound a little bit snobbish when I say it, but a lot of Bath & Body Works fragrances just are so artificial smelling to my nose. Not all. There are some fragrances that I do like from them, but the majority of them, especially like the fruity ones or a lot of their gourmands even recently, there's just something about them that I'm like, it smells fake. I feel like when I smell other brands like similar fragrances, I feel like they're just done a little bit better. And this is one of them. I feel like if you like Champagne Toast from Bath & Body Works, you would like this fragrance. Is it the exact same? No. Very much in the same family though, slightly more elevated. I do get a base note in there. I smell like the citrus and the effervescence in here. Yeah, it maybe a little bit of like grapefruit in here, but not an overly grapefruity candle because I don't really like grapefruit candles. But I smell some of that in here. I don't really get a floral note. The white grape is a base note in here, but it is definitely a different fragrance than like something that would be like a deep red grape, which is a little bit more robust. It's more light, but I definitely smell something. It's interesting that they list effervescent as the top note because there is something about this that smells kind of bubbly and fizzy. I could see myself burning this one in the month of January as well. So I will keep you posted on that. The next fragrance here is Winter Crystal. We've got a beautiful little snowflake here. Fragrance notes on Winter Crystal are crystallized vanilla sugar. That's the top note. Mid note of rose quartz and amber citrine. Base notes of silver birch and shimmering musks. So I already know what I think of this one. Ooh, okay. This smells like baby powder to me. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't like it. I don't. You guys, I'm just being honest with you. Now, here's the funny thing. My husband smelled this last night and he liked it. He's like, I kind of like that. I was like, really? Like, yeah, all I smell is baby powder on this. Yeah, I could go through, you guys, and list out all of these notes. And I'm just going to tell you, this is very, very powdery on cold sniff. Now, I'm going to be honest, I will burn this so that way I can test it out for you guys. Again, probably not here in the month of December. Who knows? I may end up liking it. You guys all know there have been several times on this channel where I have done some of these first sniffs, or not first sniffs, but cold sniff impressions, and I've told you I don't like this fragrance at all, and then it turns out being a favorite for me, so I am going to give this candle a fair shake. But I'm just telling you on cold sniff, this straight up smells like Johnson & Johnson baby powder. Like, whew, nope, I'm not loving that one. All right, and here is what I would call the star of the show. I would say that this is the fragrance that I think is probably going to be the highest sellout risk, because it is a gourmand fragrance, and we all know that the gourmand reserve candles tend to sell out quite quickly. This is gingerbread and frosting, and oh, it says gingerbread and frosting here, but then on the thing here it says gingerbread frosting. So I'm not really sure if that was a I don't know. I'm not sure exactly, but the label says gingerbread and frosting. Top notes of pastry and spice, mid notes of sweet and berry, and base notes of cream and vanilla. Okay, this one, okay, I'm not getting a ton of like, it is a sweet fragrance. I definitely smell I smell spice for sure. There is a berry note, oddly enough, in the middle there, which doesn't really necessarily scream gingerbread to me. I like this. I do like the fragrance. Is it one that I feel like gaga over? No. Now, that being said, when this is lit, it may completely transform. We all know a lot of these fragrances do. There is a creamy base to this, but this is definitely, I am glad that they mentioned this being a frosting type of scent because it is very, very sweet. Pastry. That might come out a little bit more when it's burning as a top note. I do smell spice, but I will tell you that this fragrance to me doesn't really scream gingerbread. To be honest with you, I feel like so far from the brands that I typically shop from, I feel like Homeworks does a lot of gingerbread fragrances the best in terms of being more of like an authentic gingerbread fragrance to my nose. Now that's, again, like I said, very, very subjective. So I kind of base all gingerbread fragrances, I kind of hold them up to how Harry Slatkin interprets gingerbread because that's most in line with like how I enjoy it. But this is still nice. I like it. I smell spice. It's just weird that I'm picking up. I think it's interesting that they included berry in a mid note here because I do smell like kind of like a berry note. I don't know. We'll see what this one smells like when it is burning. This is actually, it's probably going to be, this fragrance will be the first one that I'll be able to do a post-burn review on because this candle, I can incorporate it into some of my like Christmas lineup right now. This would be a great fragrance for me to burn in the morning. And I have a couple of other fragrances that I think that this will pair nicely with a lot of my tree scents or whatnot. I will be able to burn it alongside. So I will keep you guys posted on this candle, but I feel like this is the one that a lot of people are going to be very, very intrigued by. All right, so let's go ahead and rank them 1 through 6 just on cold sniff. What are my favorites? Coming in at number 6, not going to be a surprise here, is going to be Winter Crystal. Don't really want my house to smell like baby powder. Let's see, what was the other one here that I like that? Ooh, I'm gonna go with, I think, Arctic Highway. Yeah, Arctic Highway is going to be number 5 for me. It's okay. It's just that it's a little bit perfumey for me. Now, again, you guys, keep in mind, once I start burning these, this ranking may completely change. I'm going to say number 3. Number 3 for me is going to be Winter Frost. I feel like this is going to be a very fresh scent. Honestly, you guys, I really do think the more that I smell this, this is going to be great after the holidays when we are putting away all of our Christmas decorations and we're sad, but we're also wanting to like get back to normal. I feel like this is going to be a great fragrance to just kind of make everything feel nice and clean around you. I think coming in at number 3 for me, gosh, I'm having a hard time here, like deciding. Number 3, got these 3 left. Okay, coming in at number 3 for me, shockingly, let me get it in here again. Coming in at number 3, I think is actually going to be the gingerbread and frosting. Yeah, I like it. I'm not really sure what to think about it right now. So that's going to be coming in at number 3 for me. Tranquil Winter, I think, is going to be number 2 for me. Yeah, there's something about this. And maybe it's because my mindset right now is still kind of in tree mode. And I do smell some of that fir. I actually might be able to start incorporating this one a little bit earlier too. This doesn't scream Christmas tree for me, but I do feel like this is going to be a nice transitional fragrance out of full-on holiday tree fragrances into more just like classic winter scents. And then the last one, surprisingly enough, because like I said, you guys, I've never bought champagne toast. It's never really stood out to me the most, is going to be champagne bliss. I think that, yeah, I like this one on cold the most. It's nice and it's bright, it's zesty, it's vibrant. I do like this one. And there's an element in here that the more I sniff, the more I do enjoy it. And I actually think that this is going to pair really, really nicely with, I got another shipment in yesterday. I'll show it to you guys next week in my candle chat video, but I did purchase one of the new Elton John Luxe candles from Homeworks, and that is sitting over there. And I feel like that champagne, what was it? Champagne Bliss is going to pair really nicely with that candle. So that will be coming up in the month of January. So let me know in the comment box down below, what do you think of this release? I honestly think it's a little bit, the timing is a little bit unique, but I also get maybe they're trying to compete with Candle Day. That being said, you guys, I would not be surprised to see them try to offer some competing sales. We all know, you guys know I'm an ambassador for the brand, but we have not been alerted to any kind, we usually are not alerted to any kind of sales going on beforehand. But I do know that, you know, when Bath and Body Works tends to run a big sale, the other brands also are usually trying to also get some money out of that. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe there's some other Christmas fragrances or whatnot that they are trying to also offer a sale. I know that we're all kind of sailed out. We had Cyber Monday, we had Black Friday sales. We've had a lot of sales going on over the last week. Surprisingly, you guys, I've been a pretty good girl when it comes to candle purchases, but I can talk about that next week in my candle chat video. So yeah, let me know, do you plan to shop from this launch? Are you waiting to see some post-burn reviews before you do any of that? Yeah, feel free to comment down below. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. Please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk all things candles here on my channel. So if you like candle content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm very, very appreciative for you spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.